to another episode of Hourglass, episode 6. Yay! So we're going to be on Instagram right now, as well as Terra Castro's Instagram, as well as Twitch. So feel free to ask questions on Twitch, and also for everyone on Instagram and on actually your Facebook, not Instagram. Feel free to ask questions, although y'all are kind of far away, so we're not going to be able to see. So if you follow me on Twitter at l.shima_model, feel free to go ask a whole bunch of questions, and I will go check it as often as I can, and I will make sure to ask him for Terra. So other than that, let me introduce the fabulous guest, Terra Castro. Yay! I also forgot to mention, here's your lovely mic, actually. And so you can, have this little mini mic. So, Terra, I literally appreciate you coming. I know your life is just jam-packed with scheduling and just life in general just going on. So, seriously, I do appreciate you taking time just to come here for an hour. Aside from that, kind of wanted just to get down into it, and what is your best way to just basically describe yourself?
Okay.
I know, it's really hard. I hate describing my own self.
I feel like I need to give you my age. I'm 36, almost 37.
Woo!
Yay! Almost 40.
That's not even close. Well, I mean, if you're going to add some more years to it.
But, I am just a woman with a big heart.
Yeah.
The word bold is my thing. I love to wear spandex.
Yeah.
I love Lululemon.
You are definitely wearing spandex right now, and bright. Yes.
I love the city of Detroit. It's home. I love people. I love my dog Luna.
Yeah.
And I love good food and good wine.
So what exactly do you do for a living?
So I am the owner and founder of Detroit Body Garage. It's a community gym in West Village.
And I attend it.
This is where we are. You're my neighbor. And we opened a year and like 2 months ago or 3 months.
Yeah.
And we started as a mobile gym here in Detroit, Be Bold Crew. And the B means believe in yourself and your goals. The O means outpour of effort. The L means being a light to others. And the D means being dedicated on that journey, because shit's gonna get hard, and you're gonna have to keep going forward. And I think that's really what I stand for, and then my business, and now we own this gym so that we can reach others in the community through movement.
Yeah.
So we unite movement and community to help you be a vehicle of change. Our tagline is rebuild one part at a time. This whole auto industry, we live in the Motor City.
Yes.
So using that to share our story, and we get people sweating. That's how we met.
Yeah, and I do participate in the Detroit Body Garage. I think last week I mentioned to you that it was a year anniversary for me joining, at least. I know, I was actually kind of excited about it, because for me, and finding fitness and health has been a journey. Last episode I kind of talked about it and just mentioned that it took me roughly 6 years just to get to where I'm now. And I don't necessarily feel like I have made it to my goals that I set myself, but at least I'm doing it, and I'm just improving from where I used to be. And seeing from when I found you and your group of Be Bold crew, and even the creation of Detroit Body Garage, it was very inspiring, especially about the community. And what made you just want to grab that idea of community for yourself and for the gym?
Well, so my kind of backstory is I was a pro triathlete. I raced around the world for over a decade, and it was very selfish, very focused on me, training, eating, sleeping, racing.
Yeah.
And I realized that I just didn't have those authentic, really rich relationships. I was so focused on my goal. Come to find out, about 2.5 years ago, my marriage fell apart. I was married to my coach. There's a lot of evaluation. I had lost the joy of racing because I was in something dark, in a dark season. And I moved back home, and I realized the way for me to heal was to really connect, to go to church, to be vulnerable and meet people. And I worked on rebuilding myself in this process. And then it was wait, I can use sweating and the gift that I've been giving of teaching and educating others through burpees. And there's Claude. She loves burpees. She loves wall ball, actually. But how can I use that as a career? Because I also don't have a college degree.
Mm-hmm.
I went racing professionally right out of high school. I went to Marion High School in Blue Hill Hills, and that was my path. And so I used all the tools that I had in my toolbox to rebuild, and now I want to equip other people to do that.
Just to add a tidbit, you're a very pro speaker because literally I feel like you already answered a lot of the questions I already had, and we're only like 5 minutes in.
Well, this is supposed to be hangout time.
No, exactly. And that's completely what I literally, like, I usually just write these notes just to jog my memory, especially if I, like, lose track of signs. But one of the things that you did mention that actually kind of stays dear with me is not getting a college degree. And you were able to create a business without having a degree. Do you feel like that was a great path that you ended up taking, or was it kind of a struggle?
There are days, I'm going to be honest, there are days, probably in the last year since opening that, it's been really hard because I didn't take all the computer classes and know how to do QuickBooks spreadsheets, business plans, but there are so many awesome entrepreneurs in Detroit that I have learned I need to get better at asking for help. So I asked for help. You know, I have my friend Ping who owns the Royce Wine Bar, and she's been a great mentor in terms of like financial layout and what I'm doing. There's a guy Derek at the gym who's done progressions for me, like where are we projecting to go? And if you don't know something, it's okay. Ask for help. And then, you know, the blessing is I don't have school debt. I feel that I was called to a different path, and that's okay. But being equipped, you know, we have skills that are really awesome, that can reach others. So yeah, it's been a little bit harder, I would say, potentially, but I've enjoyed it. It's fine.
And I feel like you mentioned, you learn along the way. You gather mentors and friendships from just being out of the blue and not really knowing how things work.
Yeah, it's about taking risks. Being bold means like you jump full in, like there is no safety net, and like I do better in that situation because I will find a solution. And I think about it, you go on like an international trip or you go to whatever, France for a week, you learn a lot being on the road. So in my life, I was on the road 15 years racing. I lived out of my suitcase. I got to meet people from different cultures, and that educated me. So I built my own education. I picked and choose what I needed.
Yeah, and to speak about like the whole triathlete thing, because honestly, that impressed me. You've seen me countless times, and running's not my favorite. I'd rather honestly do wall balls and cry while I'm doing it than go run like a mile.
Totally.
But was the passion for running in general and biking, and actually let's backtrack a little, just in case, can you describe what is part of a triathlete?
Yeah, because some people might not.
I know, it's literally having to like refresh my mind sometimes.
So a triathlon is swim, bike, run, race. There's different distances. A beginner may do like a 200-meter swim, which is 8 lengths of the pool, 5-mile run, a 2-mile, or 5-mile bike and a 2-mile run. I specialize on like a diesel engine, so I specialize in Ironman and ultra racing. So I do 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike, and 26.2-mile run, all in one day. You get an extended amount of time to do that, 16 or 17 hours, but then, you know, the pros are doing it in, nowadays they're breaking 8 hours, but they're doing it in anywhere from like 8 hours to 10. I've done 16 and a half. There was one that I was carried off in medical in an ambulance. I overheated, got sick, long story. But yeah, I mean, I used to do 2 to 3 a month, or 2 to 3 a year, excuse me. And that's how I made a living. Like, sponsored by Luna Bar and Cliff Bar, and went around sharing the passion of sport to other women.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty fun. So I involved 7 to 8 hours a day of training, 7 days a week. You didn't get holidays off. You lived paycheck to paycheck. I ate a lot of rice and beans, but I was happy.
Yeah.
And like I used my gift, and now this is where I'm at.
And so did you originally, growing up wise, that was where your heart was at? Was dedicated to starting being a triathlete, or?
My mom swam in college, and my dad played football, and then my grandfather was a pro cyclist, and my grandmother was a national champion cyclist. And we grew up in a home where you had to do sport. Hated soccer, didn't like people kicking me, like sucked. And so I was like, I got into swimming, you know, and then I wanted to be Anita Now, who's an Olympic breaststroker. I cut off all my hair. Obviously, I like short hair.
Yeah. I
got like her matching goggles and suit, and I was 5. And I swam, you know, like the twice a day, this travel swimming. And I hit middle school, and I was like, wait, I don't really like swimming. I want to run. And so I was following, kind of watching my grandfather, what he did through his life, and he was my mentor. So I took up running, and then one day I was like so tired of watching him race that I got involved. And I remember our first race together, he almost beat me, even though I was 17.
Almost beat you.
Almost. It was sprint finish, and that just like took off my career.
And it basically seems like from the day one, that you were born, it was. Did your parents ever like force it to you, or it was more like you have to at least do a sport, and then other than that?
No forcing. My parents are educators by trade. They both have like teaching degrees. It was like what we did. Like we rode bikes as a family. Like went kayaking when we went camping. Like we were outdoors. But I'm like very self-driven. So I'm the kind of kid that like got myself up. I was up at 4:30 by myself. I made my own breakfast. Like, you don't need to worry about me in terms of like focusing on my goals. If anything, I overwork. And I'm too focused.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to live and to socialize, and I'm grateful for the community I'm in that gets me out to like have a fancy dinner or go social, be out and dance and stuff. So.
And especially seeing what the Detroit Body Garage has done for you. The socialization seems like it's really like amped it up. I mean, I know I did not know you prior, but it does definitely seem from social media wise you're constantly going out and having a good time at least, and that's what you need to do. Especially what you said, you're 36, turning 37. I mean, hell, I'm not at that age, but at least I know if I'm when I get to that age, I want to still be able to go out and have fun and do whatever my heart desires. And so I literally applaud you on things like that, and it seems like you've accomplished a lot. And not only your social life, but your career, yourself, and you're just yourself, mentally wise, physically wise. And having to be a triathlete, what was the feeling of your first triathlon?
Oh boy, my first triathlon, I'm pretty sure I want to throw up. I get nerves like really bad.
Yeah.
And my mom's probably watching. She's probably laughing because I get like, hey mom, super cranky.
Yeah.
Like, get out of my way, steamrolling forward. So I get really snappy when I'm stressed out or I cry. So I remember just being like trembling and nervous and a ball of nerves. But like it gets better or more manageable.
Yeah.
You're always gonna get nervous, but like that's healthy. It's because it means something.
Yeah.
You may get a little stressed because it means something. So yeah, I remember my first race was just like so bad. I couldn't even drink water out of the water bottle.
Oh, really?
Like, I could hardly hold my bike right, and I was like, yeah, I was a beginner, and there's this learning curve, and I had my amazing grandfather to like help me with that. So, my progression went quick because I was surrounded by, again, like my business, really good mentors.
And so, like with that idea, is there ever a moment where you just want to quit, especially with those nerves or those stress kind of really getting to you? Like in the midst of running 20 miles, there's just a moment where you're like, I want to be done now.
Totally. I think there were times during races I'd be like in my aero bars, which are these like bars at the end that make you like really tight and aerodynamic. There were times where I was like, please God, can I just get a flat tire? Like, I just want a flat tire, and sure enough, would never get a flat tire. And but it's this head game, like I would say like it's 90% the mental. Just like anything you're doing that's big, it takes time to like wrestle with it, and you're gonna wrestle through it during the race. But like when you know your why, that's my biggest thing that I try to teach people. Know why you're doing it. Like I felt called. I felt like God gave me a gift to do it. I loved it. I loved the challenge. And that's the thing. Like I retired because I lost the joy in it. I was in the middle of a race, and I'm just on the bike, and I'm like, this is miserable. I'm unhappy. I pulled over to the side of the road. Was like, I'm done. I need to go home and try to save my marriage. I'm gonna start this over. I need to reevaluate. So there are times where you need to quit.
Yeah. But
like finish what you start. That's how I was raised. And so there's gonna be times where it kind of sucks, but that's the fun part of it. Because you finish and you're like, God, that's so awesome.
Yeah, and you kind of like have that moment of clarity in a sense where you can overlook and reminisce on what you've done and what you've accomplished and kind of just go from there. I'm like, what can I do now that's a little bit more challenging in a sense?
Yeah, it equips you for the next goal, and like you can keep working your way up.
Yeah.
Bigger things.
Exactly.
They keep getting bigger too.
And especially seeing you, it seems like a lot of your life is getting bigger and bigger and expanding as it goes. But with the idea, because I know you mentioned just kind of changing it up and doing something different. What made you, deep down inside, decide, I'm going to start a running group?
Like Be Bold Crew?
Yeah, the Be Bold Crew.
Some of that's like, well, what happened was I moved back to Detroit. I was going to be here 9 days. Found a gym in Courtown that had like this really authentic community, and I thought, wait, I'm like going the easy way out. I was going to go live with my friends in Boulder. It'd be comfortable. continuing the same patterns in my life. And so I said, nope, I'm staying here. I'm going to invest in this gym. Things changed, and it was evident that like I needed to do something a little different and on my own, and I was able to. So I saw the need. Like, there is an amazing store in Detroit that does run groups, but we didn't have a triathlon group. So I took that idea of run groups, and we do swimming, biking, running. We use what's already here in the city. So we rent pool space at the local rec centers, which are amazing and beautiful, and they are in the heart of the city. They're in Detroit.
Yeah.
And we swim at Belle Isle Beach, and just getting people together, and it's amazing. We did potlucks, and we do events. We do fundraising and stuff. We did a water. We get involved with the water crisis in Detroit and Flint, and that's what then grew. Was like we needed a permanent home. We couldn't just be mobile, so that grew into the gym, right? But like when you see a need for something, why not go after it and build it?
Yeah.
You build it, they will come, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Dreams. But like it's true.
And now, one of the other things is that's how I actually came across from you is I did participate in that gym that you mentioned, and one of the girls that was there, she mentioned of you and a crew that worked at the Belle Isle Yacht Club.
Yeah,
and so she described exactly what the Big Bold crew was, and when she was telling me this, I'm like, that's not me. Like, I as much as I would love to get into running, and I think biking and swimming, actually, I would rather do. I just haven't really taken that plunge yet.
Yeah.
But as far as when she was informing me of that crew, I'm like, okay, well, I wish it was a little bit more, like, weightlifted oriented than anything else. And she's like, oh, well, they're looking into actually getting a house, or not house, but like an actual space to create a gym, like an appropriate gym. And so once she mentioned that, I'm like, well, let me just follow through and just kind of keep an eye on it and see what ends up happening. And the Detroit Body Garage is actually, I mean, of course, down the street from here. And so every time I drove by, I noticed some development happening to that old bank. And then eventually I noticed, oh, by word of mouth and everything, it's going to be the gym. And then I started to piece together that it was going to be the Be Bold crew was taking it over. And I'm like, yes, I got excited. And like, I remember the first like community thing that y'all had. Took me and Francis there, and just was like already kind of excited for it because one, I could walk there. It was simple as that. I had no excuses basically. And then two, it offered me what I was looking for, something that I can take group classes and just work out with other people and just have somebody basically pushing me. Because like how you mentioned, you have, that mental strength to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Right. For me, it's a little bit opposite. I'm more like, I can wait a little bit, kind of like postpone a lot of things. And so with Detroit Body Garage, how did that take off? Was it just something you wanted a house, a home to set everything else in, and then you just added weights to it, or did?
It's kind of an interesting story. So we were like the Be Bold crew mobile, renting space. We were doing pop-up events. We did Sweat With Your Sweetie for Valentine's Day at the Opera House, and that sold out. We did Motown Flow Down at the Yacht Club, which was like yoga and music and brunch. We love connecting food because like break bread with people, you'll get to connect and share. But it was the end of April, and we needed to leave the Yacht Club. Things had changed, the structure of how we could rent space. And so I had a week to find a place, and it was like, well, long term I wanted a brick and mortar. Yeah. But this turned into a quick timeline. And so in a week I signed a lease. That was May 1st. We opened May 14th in 2 weeks. And here we are. So, it was always a vision of having a home because being mobile is harder. I learned through my racing career. It's an example of my life, Yeah. But now we have the space and we're expanding, and it's a blessing. I think brick and mortar, you need to establish roots, and it's really important to do that in neighborhoods for our city to change. And
of course.
My grandparents are from this neighborhood. They came from Europe, planted a couple streets down from the gym. And so continuing that family legacy and loving your city. Yeah. So.
Well, and you mentioning actually starting to expand, and that's actually really big news. A lot of places don't actually get the opportunity to do things along those lines. How did that opportunity come about?
It's funny. I have a friend that had me over for dinner. He made me my vegan veggie burgers, and he was sharing a story about this hotel in Miami that had SoulCycle and a Spartan gym attached to it, and I thought, that's interesting. And the Foundation Hotel was opening downtown, and it's in the historic fire department headquarters, right by Cobo Center. And so I pitched to them like, hey, you know, you're doing local companies. They have Douglas & Co., Detroit Wallpaper, Bon Chocolate as like things that you can purchase in the rooms. I thought about what about fitness? Because community and fitness and wellness is part of that. And Detroit, we do a little different, you know, obviously. And so hotel gym spaces are also not always activated. So I said, you know, I pitched this whole idea. And it's such a blessing. It has worked out, and we're opening tomorrow. It's our first class at noon.
Better go.
Better go. My mom and my grandmother are coming. Coach Mom, Coach Granny. But we're gonna have 4 classes a week plus a free run club on every Saturday at 8. They'll meet at the front door of the Foundation Hotel, big red doors that would open, and the fire trucks could come in. But the idea of expanding to every neighborhood, so like I want to be downtown, I want to be here in West Village, I want to be even further east in like Jefferson Chalmers. We need to be in the Grandmont Rosedale neighborhood, like having these small spaces that get people moving, kids, families. We do a potluck, like I said, once a month, and we do community events, and it's how our city can help be rebuilt.
Yeah,
you know, it's already rebuilding, and this city's amazing. But yeah, so the expansion is just part of the plan of like connecting our city together. So.
And I want to kind of get down into your thoughts on Detroit, because from what you just basically said, you want to spread your wings but kind of still be in the Detroit area. You're not looking into like going to Ferndale or Bloomfield Hills. And that's something that the reason why this podcast kind of exists is because I kind of want to bring outsiders to have a better understanding of how Detroit runs. Right. And with you living other places and then coming back here and even living in the suburbs, because you mentioned you went even to the school and everything, what is your internal thoughts of the city of Detroit? And if you want to grab that, actually.
Yeah, I feel like my rope, I'll hold it.
It's totally fine.
Like,
do your thing.
I'll just lean. I love the city. You know, I grew up coming here with my family. My grandparents made an investment in sport and cycling here, and it's, I don't know, my heart is here. I had never lived on my own my whole life. I had my own apartment. I walked to work with Luna, and there's just a sense of pride living here and like commitment to love your neighbor. And not that I am against the suburbs, it's just my heart's here. Yeah. And there's the group of us that are entrepreneurs and artists that just want to be here, and like we see something that maybe some of y'all might not see it yet, but like we see it and feel it, and so like we're participating and diving fully in to like see the city, and like we see the vision of where it's going. Yes. And we're all trying to participate in it. I want to raise my babies here. I want to be married. I'm single.
One day though.
One day. I feel like this is where I'm called to be. We all have homes. Some people need to live in San Diego, California, like, you know, but this is where we are, and we're invested. And look, it's my life savings in that gym. Like, I'm taking a bold risk on the city, and I believe in it. But again, it starts with us. It starts with our businesses. It starts with like core values of, like I say, loving your neighbor and connecting. It starts from the grassroots and then comes out, because that foundation has to be legit. Like, it has to be strong so that we can build upon it.
See, and it's interesting with you and those words that you decided to use, and I'm not coming like against it or anything. It's more uplifting, because from what I've experienced here in the city, since I'm completely an outsider, I never was born or raised anywhere around here. I spent my life in Texas, lived in Florida, and then now I'm here. But with my open eyes into the city, I have this weird, fond clarity for it that a lot of people just saw the ruins of the city, and that's all they saw as an outsider. And that's what I saw. I knew a friend growing up who, you know, would always talk about Eminem, and she would literally just say that was all that she knew of Detroit. And eventually growing up, I realized Detroit was a bad city. It was a place where like murders happen and cars. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what I got from living in Texas and Florida. And so by the time I actually came to visit, because Francis is originally from here, and he lived right off of 8 Mile and everything, and I'm visiting his parents for the first time and actually seeing everything go down. And like, I remember his story of Devil's Night, and just hearing that story where they basically will set vacant houses on fire to celebrate Halloween, but now they kind of transformed it to be Angels Nights, where they actually get volunteers to kind of like protect these places. But aside from that, though, I always, even living here for 3 years, have thought Detroit starts from the arts, because a lot of the artists are the ones that that basically make an area cool. If you even think of like Wynwood, if I'm correcting it right, in Miami, that area was just completely graffiti filled, but then something about that made people realize, oh, that's amazing, let's kind of like start building from that. And hearing your thoughts on just the Live Thy Neighbor, and kind of like building a community, and just the grass of the roots, and kind of blossoming from there. That's exactly kind of how Detroit is being. And there's a lot of people that aren't open-minded to that, and those are the ones that, unfortunately don't see it.
And it's sad, and I think that's why I'm always keen on jumping in to do things like this podcast, or to sit on conferences and panels, because like I want to share that whole story, the story I see, the people I know, the communities that I'm involved in, because like that's the beautiful revitalization and building, you know? And my phone's freaking out. There we go. Okay, sorry.
I can't handle it. You're telling some deep stuff.
Yeah, so I just think arts it's true. My art is movement and sweating. Yours.
You're more than welcome to go grab your phone if you want to.
No, you're fine. I can't read it, and something went wrong during podcast.
See, and I'm more surprised it's not something my technology. Usually that's mine is always the worst.
Mine's like freaking out. So I'm just gonna let it do that.
And as you're doing that, actually real fast, I'm just going to mention for at least my Instagram, and or at least more Instagram, if you're viewing and you have any questions for Tara, or even I, feel free to go actually on my Twitter at l.shima_model and just ask away. I'll check it within the next, before the episode ends at least, just hopefully I'll remember. Usually I forget. But just definitely do it that way, and we'll make something work from it. But yeah, feel free to ask questions. And same with Twitch. If y'all have any questions currently right now, go for it. I can see the chat. It's open. It's ready to go.
Oh, well, here. I can answer
yeah.
questions.
Yeah, do it. It's exciting.
I don't think, no questions. Maybe there were questions, but we're going to post.
See, and that's the hard part about when the social media kind of like exits out immediately, in a sense.
I know.
You have no time, or like even with Instagram, actually, they'll go through it very fast. And sometimes I'm like really like deep into a conversation or just something about whatever my brain's doing, and I like don't actually like have the time to read it, and I miss out on something.
Yeah, I think it said I had 7 questions. Sorry.
You'll check it one day at some point.
Here we go. Facebook's back.
No, seriously, your answers and are phenomenal. I'm not gonna even lie. Like, you seem definitely professional in what you do. So yeah, we were really talking about Detroit, but aside from that, just to take like a pause and kind of just refresh on other things, I spat on that. Seriously, there is no fakeness to this. This is literally as real as it gets. So literally, the first episode I had with a photographer, all hell, like all the worst things that could have happened. Like the software just crashed. I had to restart. I spilt tea all over this desk with all the technology on it. Got super worried. Instagram kept like messing up too at the same time, and I'm like, I mean, it's more fun this way. Like, realistically.
But honestly, this is real life, people. Like, we are trying to do big things.
Exactly.
And it is not glamorous.
No, it's not.
I do not have makeup on. I probably smell.
I probably smell, honestly, too.
I've been at work since 5:30.
Oh, my God.
I mean, this is real life.
Yeah, it really is.
I think social media and so many things can make things look, especially the fitness industry, glamorous and six-pack and, excuse me, but your boobs look great.
No,
and
yeah.
your butt's this. Listen, I'm sweaty and tired. I had Chipotle for lunch outside, thank God, because my mom brought it. I live on coffee. I think I've had 3 cups of coffee today.
I'm kind of gaining up on you on that one.
See? And so it's like, this is real life shit.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful to walk with people who get it. And that's what we're doing here in Detroit. Is like we're building something,
exactly,
and it's real.
And see, and that's
raw,
honestly, I'm glad you are saying this on the podcast, because that's another reason why this podcast is to exist is just to really showcase what it's truly like. It's not glitz and glam, especially as models. A lot of people think, and like how you mentioned with fitness, social media wise, they think, oh, you have these strong abs and like you're just lifting 500 pounds on a daily, or you're posing and you're always looking pretty. It's like, it's not all glitz and glams. It really honestly is.
And listen, I spent my life racing in spandex. Now, I always wear one piece because I like full coverage.
Yeah.
But like, my body has changed since racing, and it is hard. Like, when you spend your whole life at certain weights and certain fitness, and I can run this mile pace, I have to regroup and focus and say, like, the blessing now is that I'm fully healthy because my heart's happy, because my spirit's uplifted, because I'm surrounded by amazing people. That's rich.
Yeah,
and that's healthy. You know, I'm gonna be a little squishy because I drink wine. My dad owns a wine bar. You know, like, I like.
Life.
Listen, this is real.
It really is truly.
Beautiful.
And it's always nice and refreshing, at least in my mind, to realize others are real. Like, especially, again, like with social media, how a lot of things can just be caked over and you not really focus, like to the point where I had to stop following people on social media because it started getting really toxic for me. To the point where I'm actually honestly thinking of just completely taking away social media for a good 2 months, just basically just getting away from it all. Exactly, because you don't really truly realize it, that other people are living just as hard as you are a lot of times, even though they might show the prettiness and like the successfulness. A lot of times deep down inside they're suffering or they're having a real bad life.
Post a picture when you wake up at 4 in the morning.
I know.
It will be more real than anything.
And don't, like, especially immediately, like whatever the first thing comes up, just
no special light.
No special light, no special angles.
No.
Just the true self.
I trust you.
I know.
Seriously.
Blemishes all over the face, hair all frizzy.
This is what I appreciate about you too, is you're in the model industry and it is being real, because young girls are like looking up to us and we're being followed, and like, who follows us, I want them to see the light. I want them to see the joy. I want them to see the struggle, to know they're not alone.
Yeah.
And so you're using your art of modeling and now social media. I'm doing the same with my social media and coaching. You know, we have a guy doing a mural. His name's Arlen. He's amazing, Arlen Graff, and he's going to do this amazing mural on the side of our bank building. And we're going to connect art. It's his first mural in Detroit. I'm so blessed. His wife, Casey Johnson, did a photo with my granny and I of just our backs.
Oh, that was her. Oh,
yes,
okay.
We were topless. No one saw the front.
Yeah.
But just to show the beauty of body.
Yeah.
The real, like the curves and the wrinkles and the freckles and blemishes. But I'm so blessed to have them in my life to paint this mural, because it's connecting now art too, like making the gym a destination to like see that and like, oh, I could move. And we're just blessed. We're surrounded by amazing people, and I hope people will see that, and that Detroit is pretty badass.
It really honestly is. Like, I try to honestly persuade my family just to come visit. I mean, half of them have visited, but the other half just have kids and they're just not. But it's still, nonetheless, like, I try to promote the positives as best as I can. And like any city, though, there are some bad moments.
Listen.
We can't sugarcoat everything.
Absolutely. I had a break-in. It happens.
It does.
It does. I had a break-in at the gym. I also fostered 2 boys from our neighborhood. And that's a very private story, but this is still the city.
Yeah.
Just like Chicago, just like LA, and 3 blocks from the gym is a more interesting neighborhoods. And I feel totally safe walking to work. I know to be smart. I don't run with headphones, but like, it's okay. We have to be brave enough to like meet people where they're at.
Exactly.
And like have those tough conversations so that we will change and the city will change.
And it's the fact also of being open-minded, because you can't just immediately think the color of somebody's skin or the financial hold that they have is immediately going to make them a bad or a good person. Like, you have to really just be open-minded to whoever you meet and what their personality and their history is going to reflect on themselves. And you just got to open mind about it. To kind of bring back into what you do for a living, actually, I kind of wanted to, I'm very more curious for my own sake.
Yeah.
So I've worked out, again, for about a year now, and every class that I've participated in has been completely different than the one after another. They're never always the same. You might do the same workouts, but it's just kind of integrated differently. How do you create those classes?
I pray really hard. Well, I do. I mean, we have a skeleton, a structure. So like every class in the gym, from high octane, which is an interval-based class, to mechanics, we do a move, which is like our movement prep, normally 5 to 10 minutes. So we have like a skeleton, right? 5 to 10 minutes of warming up, toe touches, just waking up, because we sit at a desk most of the time and we're not moving. We're watching our posture,
yes,
right?
I know. I literally.
And so that's like that. So that's easy. So I know I gotta like make some kind of movement prep. I try to vary it because our bodies can get used to stuff, and plus we get bored.
Yeah. Right.
You're waking up at 6 a.m. to work out. It should be fun. Then there's the work portion. I tend to keep that 45 minutes or so, and then there's recovery. I was a professional or like elite sports massage therapist in Austin. I traveled with
Austin.
So I lived in Austin for like 12, 13 years, and had amazing friends there and still do, but worked at University of Texas, traveled with the volleyball team, went to nationals in 2012. So I learned a lot about recovery and longevity and keeping your body healthy. And so I equip each class or put that into each class. So I have this structure in my mind, and then I just move workouts around. I have boxes of books now full of workouts. Maybe someday we'll write a book or have like an app where you can like download classes.
Ooh, that would be exciting.
That's kind of like where I'm going with it. But yeah, I don't want you don't want to do the same thing over and over. There's repetitive injuries and things. So that's my art. That's your creative part, and thankfully I'm blessed with some amazing coaches like Gio and Vanessa and Megan and Amanda and Ryan and all my yoga instructors. We're all unique and we each have a story. Gio was an executive chef, Ryan was a beginner triathlete. He lost like 70 pounds and just got active. We each have a cool story. So yeah, that's what we do.
And with like in the workouts though, because there's been moments where let's backtrack again. I have to keep in mind that a lot of people don't know anything about like
certain movements.
Yeah, and then even like the gym itself. But what are the classes that you have available for the gym?
So we have over 40 classes a week. We're open Monday through Saturday, closed Sunday because I believe in having a Sabbath, a sacred day of rest. And plus hang out with your family.
Yeah, it's really honestly what we do.
Yeah, totally. And so I have a high octane class, which is interval based. So you kind of on, off. So your heart rate spikes and goes low, and spikes and goes low. And I like to add gifts and bonuses and, little surprises. You never know what you're going to get.
It's always the best part.
Really. And we do birthday workouts. If I know it's your birthday, there are burpees.
Yes, there was burpees.
And then we have mechanics, which is a signature class where we put injury prevention and rehab and core work and balance for like the endurance athlete. Every class we're really educating you on form and movement patterns. We have swimming, biking, and running classes. We have yoga. We have, what else do we have?
Detroit Body Garage.
We have Body Garage, which is like all the things.
The most epic one.
Like today they did like 60 burpees and 240 squats and
they had them run over a mile, I think.
A mile run. We had 180 swings. Broken up. Now, mind you, it's broken up. But, like,
still
there's an art to it. And, like, I like to make it spicy. It's fun. And you don't realize how hard you can work, right?
No, yeah.
And we edit. Like, we meet you where you're at. So my granny, who's 81, will do a similar workout, but, like, break down the movements and make it a little bit easier. But you're sweating together. So your neighbor may be a pro athlete or my grandmother. You don't know. We have TRX classes, which is called suspension. We have a mommy and me class called Firebirds. Today we had 4 2-year-olds, a 8-week-old, and like a 6-month-old. It was insane.
I saw them walking from Sister Pie, and they looked like a little, like a gang member just kind of come towards you, like these little tiny 4-inch babies.
But they're so cute, and we had a new lady come in today who just she wants to find friends, So using my space, the garage, to connect people, to see them walk to Sister Pie, like that's what it's all about. That I'm just helping people cultivate relationships and change and growth, right?
And that's one of the things that I personally enjoy participating in group fitness, is because usually sometimes while I'm in the workout itself, I might not feel very talkative because I'm just really focusing on how many swings I just counted in my head or whatever the case might be. But overall, being around those individuals that have their own stories that are just pushing as hard as me, and seeing, like, even to the point where I can in my mind be competitive but not like forceful or like really trying to push it. Like Ping, for an example, when I'm working out with her, I'm like, there's no way in hell now I'm ever gonna beat her. But she at least like pushes me even harder. Like, damn, Ping's already like halfway through and I'm already just started. But then versus like another person that just started, like seeing them just even being there and starting something new for themselves and just challenging them, and that aspect is also inspiring. So kind of being surrounded by that is always just great for me, and that's what I appreciate more about being part of those classes. And one of the things though I've noticed is sometimes you don't even get to really test out the classes you have, especially like the Detroit Body Garage class itself. She'll put on some classes that or workouts that are pretty intense, and I remember working out with you a few times, and mid-time you're like, why did I even do this many crunches or flutter kicks?
Because I I'm writing them a lot of times, like I'm writing the night before. So if I have an awesome week, I write them over the weekend for the week. But I almost go day by day because I know who's coming. I'll see who signs in. We have a mobile app. I can see who signs in. And I'm like, okay, like this is what they need. They did this the other day. Like there's an art and a science to coaching, and I try to blend the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes the workouts, I'm like, holy crap. But I love running, so like my goal is to run 10 miles a day. So then I lift stuff and put it down. I'm like, my butt, my core, I can't do it. So that's the real part. Like, it's hard, and it's been so cool to see all of you grow.
Yeah, no, and that's the amazing thing. And before actually I forget, because I will get sidetracked, I wanted to show you the behind the scenes video. Yeah. So bear with me.
Take my phone so they can see it.
Yeah, you can actually. Everyone on my Instagram, unfortunately, you're just gonna have to miss out or get on Twitch immediately, or watch later on YouTube and more YouTube. You can't see it on SoundCloud.
I'm gonna show you.
So I readjust my screen. So bear with me, Facebookers. I need to pop ups and stuff.
Hey, your hands in the way. We're getting it.
You're gonna see all my files of random stuff. I try to be organized. That's my biggest thing, is being organized. This one.
That's me. Here we go.
Okay, so let me just get everyone on 1, 2, 3, let's go. Oh, my hands. So this is the first time you're actually singing too.
so new to cuddling though. Like she spoons now.
You're Luna.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
Let's get back to this, and then let's exit that.
Here we go, that side.
I need to find a smoother way of showing the behind the scenes, but this way works, at least for me. And no, I kind of, so that's good though. I was there to actually work. His name's Arlen.
Arlen Graff. Yeah.
To record just that meeting in the sense, and
so
kind of
cool.
just being there with the graffiti. What was your thought process with that?
So the bank building doesn't have a sign. I have no way of people knowing what is in there. Right?
Yeah.
And so there's all these city codes and it's historic buildings, so I had to go in front of city council. And we have this awesome thing in Detroit called Murals on the Market.
Yes.
And we have some amazing galleries like Interstate Gallery, which is actually donating the use of ladders for this week. We have Red Bull House of Art. We've got her phone. Oh, it's back on.
Okay,
It's back
tricked
on.
me. You tricked me.
We have what is the Library Collective?
Library Street Collective. Yeah.
Library Street Collective. I mean, it's amazing. We have Playground Detroit. Like all these artists, and I thought, what the heck? Like, why can't I paint my building? You know, like, why can't I activate my outdoor patio? So I have this huge patio space, and we always collect out there and hang out and work out and eat out there. So we're building step-up boxes along the edge of the patio.
Oh, yay!
So you can, like, step up, but also sit down and eat. And then this mural, I'm not going to reveal what it is.
Shh.
Lots of people know what it is if you're in class, but you actually have to come to class.
That's the treat. You literally have to work your ass off to get to know.
You get to see it. But it's bright and it's beautiful, and it symbolizes the rebirth and the growth and the regeneration boldly in Detroit. And this is his first mural here. He's from Brazil. His wife's from here. They live here now in Jefferson Chalmers. They are Detroit artists, and they are invested in our city. And so, I don't know what happened. I just was like, could you do a mural instead? So I got a grant from the Banyan Foundation, which is from this neighborhood, and they've done a lot of awesome investment in our neighborhood for the better. And they gave me a grant to get a sign or showers. And I'm like, well, most of us walk, so we don't need showers. We're going to do a sign. It's going to be the boldest, most amazing, badass sign.
Yeah.
It's a mural. So instead of it's not going to say Detroit Body Garage, but you're going to see it, and it's so bright that you're going to know or want to come in and see, right? And we'll put signs along the step-up boxes that say Detroit Body Garage or something. But this is about something bigger and investing in my city even more. So having a mural where it's a destination in my neighborhood. We have a few that are amazing by Weezy. And I just want to add to it. It's pretty cool.
So do you rent out your space, or do you own the building?
I wish I owned the building. I'd love to own a home. That's my goal.
That's
my goal. Long term, Lord willing, that I own a home in West Village or Indian Village or East Detroit. But I don't. I rent. Rent is unfortunately fairly high now in Detroit.
And it's remarkable that it is high now.
Yeah, and it's just the market, and
it is.
You know, I'm I don't know, full of grace, and just I pray a lot.
Yeah.
With financial risk, and it's been going just fine.
Yeah.
And people provide. God always provides, and to see the growth in a year.
Yeah.
I'm very humbled and grateful for the commitment of others.
And so with the mural and only renting, did you have to get like approval from the owners and the other people that are tenants?
Approval from the owners. The other tenants is Goodness Gracious Florist. She loves the idea. She's bold like me.
She is definitely bold in a great
yeah,
way.
she is. Love Kelly. And Micaiah from Rick's Wine Bar, just as bold. You know, it's on my kind of side of the building, sort of. But my landlords are amazing, and they said, sure. I pitched the idea again. It's about sharing the story, and did it match? And they went through the colors and looked at it and edited, and here we are. So it starts tomorrow night. He's gonna project it and trace the outline and paint, and then it's painting every day, 10 to 10. You guys can come and check it out. Bring him hugs. Bring him food.
Yeah.
And his wife will be there. You'll get to see the step-by-step process. We're gonna GoPro it, delay, time lapse, so you'll see it.
Oh, that'll be exciting because it's I have like a tickle in my throat, so bear with me. But it's weird. It's not weird, but it's funny because I know what it's like to create a mural in a weird way because Francis is an illustrator and he's
totally.
kind of
Yeah,
like
that's
dabbled
right.
in random
Yeah.
or odd trades. But one of the things that we did, or he did, is this water park in San Antonio
Oh, Lord.
commissioned him to do this mural right above the wave pool.
Oh, brother.
Midsummer.
Of course. Hello, y'all. I lived in San Antonio.
So like
It's brutal.
it's literally
humid
just
and
in Texas
hot.
in general. Yes, it's brutal. And so just to try to do a quick story about it, because it's one of those stories where just I look back and I just have to laugh because it just was so crazy. So midsummer, right in a water park, right above a wave pool, and so the only way, or there's only real two ways to do a mural. I'll do it. Well, there's three. Do a hand paint one, just by hand, or project it like they're doing for you, or also just make a huge banner the size of the space and then just do it the easy way, honestly.
Yeah.
And so the only way Francis was willing to do it was to do a projection screen.
Right.
Well, he had to get it by a certain distance to get the proper dimensions, right?
In the pool.
In the pool. There's a
course.
wave pool, literally. You only have about, I'm not exaggerating, the space of maybe a little bit further than this table of actual walkway from the wall to the actual edge of the pool. And so we had to basically build a scaffolding on our own. There was literally me, Francis, and a roommate at the time who's also an artist. And it was only three of us to do this. And so Francis literally had no swimming experiences. Neither did I really, and neither did our friend. So we're literally trying to build this scaffolding, and also in the nighttime because it couldn't have been in
During
the
the day,
daytime while
absolutely.
people were there.
Right.
And so it's literally like this crazy event happening, and then finally when we got, at least, and by all means we magically got this like projection screen to work and somehow got this electronic hovering over water safely with no electrocution or anything like that. Like, by all means, looking back, it was a crazy risk that we took.
Yeah.
Plus, we were renting the projection screen
Oh,
on top of
Lord.
it, and all the other stuff, too. And so we were finally able to do it, but then also painting during the day with the colors and all of the house paint for it. It was just so brutal, like to the point where we had a wave pool right next to us, but we would have to take like 30-minute breaks just to go freshen our bodies up and just get away.
Yeah.
It was so horrible. So every time I see the murals in the market go on and all those individuals doing
totally.
it, I seriously give them mad props. That stuff
Yeah.
is not easy to do.
I mean, I saw the
honestly.
ladder today, and like our building's really high.
It really is.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking. I actually asked Arlen. I was like, "Can you please wear a helmet?
Yeah.
Like, if you fall, what's gonna happen?" He's like, "I'm gonna be fine." I'm like, "Okay."
There have been unfortunate circumstances
yeah, like that's
recently,
scary.
honestly, too.
But so this will be his first mural, and then Murals in the Market is in the fall, and he'll do one there. And it's just cool. I love Detroit's bright, and I think that's what I want people to see. It's bold and bright, and we shine our light. That rhymes.
Yeah.
Totally.
You planned
I
it,
just
right?
totally laughed.
On the editing process, I'll add some music and make you drop a beat.
But it's true. Like, I think that's what I love about these murals is you can like run through Eastern Market and you're like, holy crap! It's not about like tagging and ruins that people like to take pictures of and post. You're like, no, like show the beauty, like show the change, show the new businesses, show the restaurants, show the art, show the people holding hands walking down the street in the evening because it's safe. Show that.
Yeah, and exactly. And I literally have to agree with it because even seeing the murals and then seeing somebody tag right next to it, you can night and day see the difference between graffiti, like actual unplanned graffiti and tagging, and then comparison to an actual mural somebody literally drew out, planned, and put their heart into it and to showcase who they are as an artist and as an individual. And it's just night and day, honestly. And if you're in Detroit and you haven't been to Eastern Market, you should just go. I don't know how you've made it this far.
I'll take y'all out there. Like, we can go and run, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
totally.
And there's one thing, too, about your gym, too, is the last community workout that you put on to celebrate the year, you went around the neighborhood.
Yeah, like, I wanted y'all to see. I mean, if you're scared to come down here, I'll pick you up, and I'll drive you down here, and I'll show you my neighborhood. I love where I live, and we have amazing businesses. We went to Fisheye Farms and Kimbrough Cleaners, who's been there 25 years. He's seen everything. We went to the Urban Farms, Fisheye Farms. We worked out on the grass there. Then we ran over to Life Cycle Delight. Amina has busted butt and gotten this amazing cycle studio open in TRX, and she has yoga. We stopped and took a selfie there. Then we went to Red Hook Coffee. Because of Sandy and Red Hook Coffee, I'm where I'm at. She connected me to her landlord.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's this lady boss girl power Detroit. Like, there are many amazing lady entrepreneurs.
Oh,
here,
yes.
which I love. And then from there, there's Vegan Soul, and Kirsten and Erica are amazing. I train Erica on a weekly basis. That's a vegan soul food restaurant.
Delicious, by
I
the way.
live above that place that Banyan owns. It's an amazing apartment complex. So we ran there. Then we ran past Craftwork, which Hugh's done a great job. That's where I go for my happy hour. Wheezy Mural on the other side of the street. We did push-ups and wall sticks.
Yep.
More community art. You got all these apartment complexes. We went left on Parker, Sister Pie, the Art Gallery, La Boheme. We have Gordon Hawkins Real Estate. You turn left, there's Metropolis Bicycle Shop, which is amazing with Shane. Then we have Marrow going in there with Ping and Greg and Sarah Welch, who's like an amazing chef. We have Village Parlor just opened. He does my hair. And then we have
the haircut, the barbershop too.
Oh,
heavyweights.
Heavyweight Dave is next. He's amazing. He's been there also like 15 or 20 years. He's a veteran. Then from there down, we have Busted, which is going to be like a lingerie bra shop that's also in Midtown.
Yeah.
We have a pizzeria coming. We have all these things. And then we have this New Orleans
the gumbo
jazz
type
supper
thing.
club. Y'all come and visit.
Yeah.
That's just West Village.
Yeah,
we
that
got
is just
Midtown.
West
We got
Village area.
Rosedale, Grandma.
You have so much.
We are blessed.
And honestly, I am grateful to be in this community too, just because of all that is happening.
Totally.
And just being in this area. I mean, granted, it is just the neighborhood I live in is just super nice houses, and oh my god, I would dream to live in some of these houses.
Totally.
But nonetheless, just being able to walk and get coffee, or walk to a gym, or to go and get my hair cut or my nails done, or just something just to show family too. And that's one of the things that I love about Detroit and where it's going, is it's trying to be more inviting and not trying to push away. Well, there's times when they've pushed away things, but that's like any city. Austin did the exact same thing. When the city starts to grow so rapidly, it kind of just pushes, unfortunately, lower income. But
do you remember getting the Walmart in Austin? Like everybody, like crap hit the fan. They
freaked out,
like because they were all local business, and then Walmart came. Well, with growing, there's pains, and you just got to band together and walk together and have those conversations like we talked about, and be willing to listen. Quick to listen, slow to speak.
Exactly.
Might help us a little.
And honestly, that's what makes this city so unique, especially in like Austin but especially Detroit, is the people that feed it, the people that live here, and being an outsider moving in. Texas has so much pride for its state, but Detroit does have so much pride for its city. It's ridiculously amazing,
true.
honestly. I've already had like 5 Detroit shirts just being an outsider living here for 3 years. And it's just amazing in that aspect. Let me check real fast Twitter, because the time is about to be over. And I don't want you to stay as long as because I could keep you here for 2 hours, honestly. The photographer that...
Do you need to go to bed? Because I get up at 4:30.
Yeah, so you live a crazy life.
Dinner. So.
Oh, you should have...
No.
I should have fed you, force feed you.
Or just eat Chipotle while we go.
Like real fast again on Instagram and even on Terra's Facebook. If you want to just go on my Twitter real fast at l.shima, l.shima_model. I know it's a mouthful. Go ask questions. You have 5 seconds. Otherwise, I have one question. A question from last week for both of you this week. So this guy, he's really awesome about asking on Twitter. Favorite exercise or part of body to work on? Least favorite exercise or part of body to work on?
I love legs.
Yeah.
I love to work my legs.
I agree.
Y'all, those are what carry you around.
Yes.
And they're firmly planted on the ground, and you're rooted, to get all kind of spiritual in it. But I love quads, so we do a lot of squats.
Oh yes,
and we do a lot of booty things, bands and
the bands,
step ups.
The bands.
So that's my favorite part to work, because that's holding me up.
Yeah,
and I got a lot to do.
And I agree that literally the legs are my favorite
My
parts.
least favorite is probably like push-ups or pull-ups. I mean, I know I need to do them, but I've always struggled with that like lat engagement.
Yeah.
And I have some rotator cuff stuff. Yeah, I actually love everything about moving, so there's not like a least favorite, but I tend to go towards the things that I'm good at.
Yeah.
So we do need to train our weaknesses.
Yeah,
to be
we
better.
do.
So I've been working on the push-ups and stuff. So.
And I will say for myself, doing upper body things, that's where I find it a little bit more struggling because I've mentioned it with you.
Too.
Yeah,
we
and
don't
exactly.
Have the same strength as guys do.
And exactly.
We're working it.
Yeah, we are. And with my posture and everything like that, I just have to really try to stay focused on that. But honestly, my least favorite workout. It's been an hour. Let me just restart this one fast. Just real fast, I swear. Okay. But to continue, literally probably my least favorite actual workout that you've have us do. Burpees for sure is pretty hard, but I will say wall balls just for some damn reason, even though it is the legs a lot of times, something about it, I just want to just stop. I'm Tara, no more. I don't want to do more than one. Okay. But yeah, it totally is okay. Let's see. Otherwise, I think that's it on Twitter. Somebody said great show, so it's always great to hear compliments like that. Tara, seriously, it's literally 10 o'clock exactly. No joke. I appreciate it.
That was so great. It's like hanging out with your bestie.
It really is, except for your bestie just kind of throwing questions at you. But otherwise, that's the purpose of my podcast is really, especially when I have special guests, it's your time to shine. I mean, I might fill in some empty voids and just be casual about it. Just have conversation and just hang out, and it's literally not a big deal. Literally, thank you. Oh my God, yay! It's always exciting. And honestly, nothing crashed, so literally double high fives for that.
Good luck.
Every episode, I always have to plan for that, and fortunately, it did not happen. All right, everyone on Twitch, seriously, it was a blast. Everyone on Instagram, seriously, again, awesome to have y'all here. Otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to stop streaming, and I will see y'all later. Bye. All right, stop streaming.